What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So this is a pretty long explanation of because so much stuff happened this last day or two with all my teams. So I hope your ears are ready. I hope your eyeballs are ready. So this might take a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get through it as quick as I could. So let's go. Woo! There's a lot of stuff. So let's get ready. Alrighty, so Grayson Allen, he kind of stole the show yesterday at the NBA Combine, had the fastest lane agility so far, which is pretty awesome. I've been telling you guys, this guy's a sleeper, and you got to watch out for him, and of course he's rising up to the occasion when it counts, so that's really cool. Hopefully it still continues when he has to own personal workouts with teams, and hopefully he can get drafted pretty high, so that's what I'm pretty excited about for. And then we also have USC returning to, as they say, the House of Horrors in Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium to play Alabama once again in 2020. This is pretty awesome in my opinion because we deserve a rematch, because if you actually go back and look at that tape, we were leading 3-0 for a quarter and a half. So USC had the ability to win. They just gave it up themselves with turnovers, bad play calling, and inexperience. But I definitely think these recruiting classes this year and next year will be important for that year coming up. Obviously, Alabama is going to be great at recruiting, but if you're close enough to them, getting good enough players and coaching them up by then, then I think it could be a pretty awesome game. That's what I'm definitely looking forward to coming up in 2020. Okay, and they're doing a proposed trade right now since it's after the NBA Combine, where Kawhi Leonard would come to the Lakers only, and they would have to give up Brandon Ingram, Luol Deng, which would be a great contract to get rid of, Josh Hart, which would be tough to lose, and the first round pick this year. It's a pretty good trade, especially since LA Lakers aren't getting back anything in return, but you never know, because I believe the Spurs said they want a big blockbuster trade, and if the Lakers do that, then they're really going to give up so much of their guys. It's not going to really be a good team to watch with just Kawhi Leonard being there. Then we also have Tua Tagovailoa. He's a freshman quarterback for Alabama. He was a high recruit for USC. They wanted him pretty bad this last coming year, but they didn't get him. He went to Alabama, and all he did was just win them the national championship when Jalen Hurts wasn't doing really well in that game. As a true freshman doing that, which is pretty crazy because he only had backup playing time the whole entire year. So he definitely has some ability, some greatness in him. Hopefully it's not just college greatness, but you never know. But apparently if he didn't get to have any playing time going down the stretch, even in that game, he probably would have looked to transfer and was looking to see if USC was still available for him, which would have been crazy. I kind of prefer a JT Daniels, but JT Daniels is very young. He is a year younger than him, so I would have probably taken Tagovailoa over him for at least a year, and then hopefully JT Daniels would have stayed, but you never know with that situation because these guys want to play early. They want to go to the NFL and prove themselves so quickly because all these quarterbacks are way more advanced because of all the 7-on-7s and all these extra tournaments that they have. So hopefully, he'll still be there as a senior when we play him in 2020, and JT Daniels will be a junior, and that should be a pretty awesome matchup. Then there was an article asking if DeMarcus Boogie Cousins could land in LA for the Lakers. It seems it could be possible, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I want it unless there's certain rules on the contract, like if it's a 3-year deal and the Lakers have options either the final year or the second year and final year. That would work out a lot just because you don't know how he's going to come back from that Achilles injury. Freaking Maze walking. But it would be a good addition if he does end up coming back. He'll probably have to change his game a lot. But he was already kind of becoming a good enough shooter, especially from 3 anyway, so he didn't have to, pound down there as a center. But we'll see how that goes. Then you also have, according to someone at the NFL Network or anybody, they're saying that the Chargers have the second best roster available according to all the rosters compared to one another. Even they're number 2 to the Philadelphia Eagles, my brother-in-law's team. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they would be second and still not even be making the playoffs, especially last year. And I saw that the Patriots were like 9th or 10th on that list, and they always make the playoffs. So it really doesn't matter who you have as long as they are coached correctly and make enough plays to win. A lot of times, especially the past few years, Chargers have not made enough plays to win games, and that kept them out of the playoffs. But hopefully that is a sign of things to come and be different for my LA Chargers. So 2 rookie corners for the LA Chargers, Brandon Facyson, I hope I'm getting that last name right, from Virginia Tech, and Tony Brown from Alabama. They're really showing out in these early practices for rookies, showing that they could possibly make the team, whether it's special teams or even a backup role. This definitely, what I kind of want is makes Jason Verrett available for trades, to whether you get draft picks or another player at a certain position. It has to happen sooner or later because this guy continues to keep getting injured every single time. So hopefully these are good enough backups that they would finally pull the trigger on that stuff, but we'll see how that goes. That could be interesting. Then the Lakers are finally off of the Steve Nash and Dwight Howard trades, I believe, because the Dwight Howards now become second-round picks and instead of first-rounders, which was a total waste of 1 year, and the Steve Nash was a total waste of 4 years, especially the last one where he hardly even played and they still paid him so much freaking money, and they gave up so many they gave up 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. So yes, brother-in-law, you did get lucky, but for some reason they traded those to Philadelphia, and it came to Philadelphia and Boston recently. But that is tough. It was a tough stretch right there, especially since we weren't getting anything back from both Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, especially Steve Nash because he was always injured. But luckily, those picks kind of turned into, whether it was the beginning year first-round picks or second-round picks for those teams, and the Lakers got to keep their first-rounders, which was kind of awesome. You got D'Angelo Russell, which was garbage from the beginning, but we saw how that went. Then Julius Randle, I think he was probably right before that, or kind of like right there. And then you also had Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. So for some reason, somehow they got those 2, and they weren't even supposed to be able to get those. Their percentages of landing those picks were really low, but somehow they did. And this year it could have been pretty awesome if they got that 9th through 4th area, but at least it's finally gone, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. We still get to keep our own first-round picks, and most likely trade them for a player that is probably going to mess up our future anyways. But we'll see how this goes. Thanks for watching, people. I know it's pretty long today, but like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Try to get as much stuff in today as possible. Thanks for watching again, and have a great rest of your weekend.